I'll send you a link to the YouTube version of this.
Okay.
Because then you can use the recordings however you want.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
so I think we are live. We are live. Yay! Okay. So welcome everyone to 20 Questions. I'm Lisa Kastner. I'm the founder and executive editor of Running Wild, which now has 5 imprints because I've completely lost my mind. And I'm here with the amazing Anne Michelle Harris, who is the author of the phenomenal North. So to give you guys a little bit of background, so she was born in Jamaica and raised in Atlanta. She writes romantic suspense and fantasy speculative fiction, which is what North is all about, with diverse characters and positive social justice themes. She's a lawyer by day and a writer by night with a BA in English from Penn and a JD from Emory. Like, you know, just because we have little creds, right? She's a member of Sisters in Crime, the Atlanta Writers Club, and Georgia Romance Writers. She's a Maggie finalist, a double finalist in the National Pages from the Heart Contest, and a finalist for the 2023 Eleanor Table Bland Award for Emerging Crime Writers of Color from Sisters in Crime. And to give you a taste of North, so in North, a cynical boy who can heal from any injury is destined for a lot of suffering. But when he meets a fierce princess with a murdered father, his dangerous adventures are just beginning. So with that, oh my gosh, first of all, I'm going to get to the 20 questions. I completely promise you. But I just want to say how much I adore Anne. So I had the honor of being Anne's editor, which really just means I got to read the book before everybody else. And I mean, like the second we even checked it out during our acquisition session, I was like, we need to acquire this. And, you know, some of my fellow acquirers were like, well, you know, it's really more hardcore genre. I'm like, well, isn't that what we're doing in Rise? Like we're finding cool hardcore genre that needs to be brought forward. And it was like, oh yeah, right. Ding, game on, let's bring it. So, and I'm also super excited to tell everyone about the fact that North is intended to be the first in a series. And I believe we actually have a follow-up in our acquisition pool.
Soon to be, yes.
And I can't wait. I can't wait to read it. So with that, I'm gonna dive on in. Cool?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. What is the first book you remember reading?
So the first real book that I got as a child was Nancy Drew. And yeah, loved it. I was probably like, I don't know, 5 or 6. And that started my lifetime, love of reading, and probably was the first one, like Secret of the Old Clock or something. But I had bunches of them, and my parents would buy me, instead of an allowance, I'd get a new Nancy Drew book every month. So I had a collection when I was a kid. So
yeah. Wow. Okay, that's really cool.
I'm Team Nancy. I've loved Nancy Drew my whole life, even like all the iterations, and my kids read different variations of it too. So yeah.
Very cool. And who is your favorite author? Now I would say in a genre, but I like to really like make you go into panic. Favorite author, period. It can be more than one. It's fine.
I mean, my favorite author, probably, I'm gonna have to say, just overall, would be Toni Morrison, because I love Beloved, and it was a game changer book for me. And I've read it multiple times, and every time it had a different effect on me. So I'm gonna go with her for overall big picture. Yeah, but
I have to admit, adored Toni Morrison, period. Like, yeah,
it's stunning, beautiful content, just amazing.
Agreed. Like, just every sentence has meaning. Every word is intended to be on the page. You just can't. Yeah. Agreed.
She's a goddess to me. So yeah.
Totally. Are there authors in like fantasy, sci-fi, or fantasy romance mystery that you're like, woo,
Yeah. I mean, my go-to in like fantasy YA would be Cassandra Clare because I love the Shadowhunter series. I read City of Glass and City of Bones and loved it and just all her books. And I like Julia Quinn for romance, for straight like Regency romance. I read Julia Quinn before she became like super like Bridgerton and everything. But back in the day, those were my go-to books, and they're like good comfort books. Yeah, so those
Love.
were my go-to. So yeah.
Okay. Harold Jordan asks, so when's the next book in the North series coming out? I did not prompt him. It is not my fault.
I mean, it should be, I think, ready to roll in probably about 6 months. But I mean, I know that means like still queue after that. So probably, I would guess another year and a half or so. But yes.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bad though. That's
No,
not bad.
Yeah, I had the sequel in mind when I was writing the original version. I knew I wanted to tell. There's so many great characters in the book that I wanted to give them each their own space. So yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. Yay! Who influenced your writing?
So definitely like Toni Morrison, like we talked about, like just loved like the way she incorporated like magical realism and like just really powerful emotions into this like amazing and beloved, just difficult storytelling, but really like not just straightforward like running and chasing and angst, but like pausing and having those moments of just introspection. So loved that. And then I'm influenced by like C.S. Lewis. I like that the way he layers meaning into his story. So you're reading it on one level, but there's another level if you choose to observe it, and you don't have to, but it's still enjoyable at different levels. So yeah, love that. I read Yangtze Chu's The Night Tiger many years ago, and that I really enjoyed that. Just like again with the magical realism, and yeah, love like Barbara Kingsolver also. And as a kid, I read a lot of Charles Dickens. So I think just he's stuck in the back of my brain, even though I don't think of it because I don't read a lot of Dickens currently. But I feel like that some of that just sort of higher order omniscient personality is there. So
yeah, like when you go back and you read some, then you're like, wait a minute. I think I certainly used some of this.
I mean, it just, you just stuff stays in your subconscious. And yeah, that's why I try not to read in the genre that I'm writing in at the time that I'm writing it. So.
Oh, that's smart. Because then you can actually apply different craft techniques that may be more common in that what you're reading.
Exactly.
The one that you're writing. Yeah. Oh my God. I love that.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. So you already mentioned Beloved really made the biggest impact on you. But if you could read only one book the rest of your life, what would it be?
What would it be? I mean, I would want it to be something happy. So I think I'm going to go with like Pride and Prejudice or something like that. That's like fun, but has meaningful angst and stuff like that, but it's not too depressing. So if this is my only book.
No, it's funny because like in reflection, I think I've read Pride and Prejudice like 4 times.
Yeah.
Twice for school and twice because like we were talking earlier, like we're both book nerds, and like especially when I was a kid, like in the summer, like on summer break, that's basically what I did is I just like sat in my bedroom and read,
Yeah.
So I happen to have Pride and Prejudice as well as a multitude of other books from, what we were told we had to read. And I was like, no, I actually kind of like that. Okay, I'll read it again.
Yeah. And I feel like it's always on hand.
Right?
People are always remaking it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Absolutely. And even like Toni Morrison's Beloved, I think I read that like 4 or 5 times for similar reasons. Like you had mentioned, like every time you read it, you pick up something new.
Right.
It's almost like your subconscious is searching for something and it fulfills it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Comfort books.
absolutely. Absolutely. Um, what do you reread all the time?
So I read a lot of like nerd literature, sci-fi stuff, Star Wars books. If you could zoom in, you'd see I have a whole like row of Star Wars stuff. So I love like no apologies for that, but I love like Timothy Zahn has a series called Heir to the Empire that I really liked. It's Star Wars, it's like Luke Skywalker and stuff like that. And that is like a fun comfort read for me.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Cool. Um, what book would you save in a book burning?
Oh, for sure. M.K. Jemison's The Fifth Season. That was
Okay.
another like game changer book for me, but I read it more recently. But like it has a lot of really powerful social justice commentary, so might end up on a pile. It, yeah, just really fast. She does this really the most unique writing I've really ever seen with the different multiple timelines and different tenses. There's some one point of view that's entirely in second person to like you the whole time. And I was like, how is she doing this? So anyway, I would save it. I would risk burning my hand to get it out of the pile.
Actually, I need to read that. That sounds fabulous.
It is very, very, very cool. And I love when people play with timelines without you realizing that they're playing with the timeline and you're like, oh, wait, so very, but also really good use of symbolism to tell an important higher message story. I thought she
Ooh.
did a great job of that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny. Peter, one of our other editors, had mentioned his favorite books to edit are ones where, as you're reading it, they're breaking rules.
Mm-hmm.
You don't realize it until you're like really absorbed in it, and you're like, "Wait a minute, this is all in first person." Or wait a minute.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you get drawn in.
Exactly. Like it's like it's just meant to be that way. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Rodney Hatfield says, did you get discouraged trying to find a publisher or agency?
So fortunately, I have been blessed to be in a lot of really good writing groups, and that kind of community was super encouraging. So it's hard, querying is hard, pitching is hard, writing is hard, editing, I mean, it's all hard. So if you don't have a community, I think you can get discouraged like that and feel like, okay, I'm going to give up or something, or it's not worth the effort. But I have to say that my writing community really encouraged me. So I mean, I had definite moments of, oh my goodness, what was I thinking writing a book? Whose idea was this? But I really was, it looks a lot easier than it is. But I had a lot of encouragement, and I appreciate, and even online, some of the online writing communities would be like, oh, here's my sad thing. That's my stressful thing. And just like, knowing that people made it to the other side. And I love that. And I continue to find encouragement in the writing community. So,
Well, and mind you, you are an absolutely fabulous author. So I'm really thankful that you got that encouragement, because your words need to be out and getting fans everywhere. So
thank you. Thank you.
Haley Mason says, aside from fantasy, what other genre interests you to write?
So I'm in Sisters in Crime. So I also write crime fiction, and I have 2 short stories that are published in the Sisters in Crime Guppy anthology, which is their online chapter. So, and I've loved writing that genre, and I try to do some of the same things with it. When I'm writing crime, is still build in some subtle messaging, not hit you over the head messaging, and a little bit of that kind of like etherealness when I can. So I'm into crime also, crime writing. Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
What do you? Oh no, I think I asked you that already. Let's see. So, what inspired you to write North?
So yeah, I always tell people, one of the first things that inspired me was my kids, because we used to read a lot of YA fantasy stuff
Mm.
together. And my kids would get me into, like, I read Cassandra Clare Shadowhunters because of my daughter was reading them. And I was just like, oh, what is this? Oh, this is amazing. And I read like Rick Riordan with my son. So we would read a lot of these books, and I just wanted to, and I love them, and they are great books. But I just wanted them to have, I imagined them having a book with more characters that look like them in the lead roles versus in the side roles. And I kind of was like, I would like to write that. And then I also, with other parts of my life, deal with people in poverty and poverty issues. And so I wanted to write that story as well, about what happens to children in poverty and how society can overlook them unintentionally, and kind of blend those kind of themes together to create the story. And that was kind of my motivation, was to tell a story about people who are forgotten by society, and then also tell a story with like heroic leads that were diverse. And I tried and intentionally made North with lots of different types of characters in prominent roles. So everyone can identify, I hope, with some of the characters.
Oh, I love it. Love it. Who did you allow to read the book while you were writing it?
So my husband read it. He had a lot of comments about it as it was going along. My sisters read it. One of my sisters is a writer also, and so she was a good like mentor. Like, oh wait, you've got a lot of description, and maybe you should have a plot. And so that was helpful feedback, because I'm like, oh, I just want to talk about the trees. What's the problem? So
That's awesome.
She would gently nudge me towards, maybe having something happen on the page. So yeah, and my other sister is also an avid reader, and so she was great for reading early, like alpha reading, early pages while it was still in progress. And then I had my kids read it, because like I said, it was, inspired by them, and they are young, and I wanted to have a fresh perspective, and so it was a tight group of people that were reading the alpha versions of it. So yeah.
It sounds like a fabulous group.
Yeah, they were great. Then I moved on to beta readers who were, not unconnected to me, but I started with the people closest to me. So
understood. Very cool. If you were at a dinner party with 4 seats, who would you invite at your table? Author or not? Either.
I mean, if it's going to be authors, I'm going to go with some of the people we talked about. So like C.S. Lewis, and like N.K. Jemisin, like Toni Morrison, like maybe like Jane Austen. And I would love to have that kind of progression through time of like, kind of like the older 1800s writers, and then the early 20th century writers, and then contemporary writers, and just see how that, how the worldview connects in a conversation, something like that. I think that would be fun.
I love that. Oh, yeah. Totally. Absolutely. Yeah. What book is your guilty pleasure?
So keeping with the nerd theme, I also super love anime and manga. And right now I'm a total anime addict. So I've been watching The Apothecary Diaries, which is a fantastic anime. Everyone needs to stop what they're doing and go watch it right now. It's amazing. It's like historical, it's crime mystery, it's a very slow burn romance, lots of commentary about women's roles in society. And I got to the point where I couldn't wait anymore for the each week episode to come. So there's actually a light novel that was preceded it being made into an anime. And it's translated from Japanese. So that is my guilty pleasure. I am reading the light novel for Apothecary Diaries, and it is just so much fun. Like so much fun. Like reading it, enjoying it. I don't need to be highlighting it or underlining it. I'm just having fun with it. So
yeah, oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yep.
So Harold says Anne's husband told me that she refused to let him read it for almost 6 months. So I think you just got called out.
What's funny when you're writing and you have your family read it, the first thing they're gonna say is like, "Wait, who is this character? Is this me? Is this cousin so and so?" Like immediately think, and it's like, no, these are actually just fictional people. So at some point you have to be like, just relax. We're just reading, okay?
Although the ones they pick that they're like, is this me? That kind of gives you some insight into
like, totally. Process, right? Totally. It absolutely does. And of course, I always tell people, like, people always ask, like, is your book inspired by real people? And I'm like, it's not inspired by a specific real person, but it is inspired by like maybe a conversation I had or an emotion that someone expressed or something like that. But I'm always like, it's not, disclaimer, these are not you people. So.
Oh my God, that's so funny. What movie or TV show is your guilty pleasure?
So I'm gonna go with again with the anime. I love Naruto Shippuden. That is like my guilty pleasure. I watch it a lot, rewatch it. I like Bridgerton is a guilty pleasure too. And I watch Will Trent with my husband. I don't know if that's a guilty pleasure, but it is definitely on the lighter side. Okay. I do enjoy that because it's set in Atlanta, which is where I'm from. And so it's always fun to see Atlanta settings, and then they always find a body. And that is a fun show to watch too. So
that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Do you read with music or quiet or some other sound?
Oh, definitely quiet to read. I will sometimes write with sounds to inspire me, but if I'm reading, the only sound I want is like the ocean, and it needs to be the Caribbean Ocean. So I will read at the beach in Jamaica and have like the waves crashing. That is acceptable sound. Maybe Hilton Head, but I don't. I don't like noise in the house when I'm reading. So yeah,
that's so fabulous. If you could ask for one thing to change the world, what would it be?
So many things. But I think like more anime, more donuts. But like I hope that we get to a place in our world where we have more kindness, like just in general. So I know that just sounds cliche, but I think we get so stressed out, understandably, by so many things. And it's like if you can pause and think about the other person with a little bit of compassion, I just feel like it'll just do the entirety of the world a lot of good. So yeah.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. What does your reading environment look like?
Oh, here it is. Ta-da. Yes, I read here in the library a lot. It's where the books live. I also have I have a nice back deck. And again, I'm in Atlanta, so we have a lot of trees back there, and it's very like relaxing to sit out back in the evenings, not in the daytime when it's scorching hot, but like in the evenings, sit out with a glass of wine and a good book. Love it. That's my peak relaxation time if I can sit out back and read. So
that's fabulous.
Yeah.
Do you prefer paper, ebook, or audio?
So definitely paper is my go-to. I love paper, but I have tons of books electronically on my Kindle. And I love the fact that wherever I am, if I'm stuck in line somewhere, I can just pull my phone out and read because I have tons of books on there. And I can also literally download a book in an instant. Like I can just be like, here's my money, give me a book. And it appears in an instant. I love that. I've done that before. Like I'm literally stuck somewhere on a plane or something. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to read the next Will Trent book. Let's go. Here it is. And there it is. I love that. So I usually don't do audiobook unless I'm like rushing or multitasking. So I'm a fan of audiobooks, but it's usually like I'm driving on a long drive or I'm cooking dinner or something like that. So
got it. No, that makes sense. I can see that. Who would you cast as your main characters and why?
So yeah, this is so hard. Someone read the book, a family member of mine read North for their book club, and they gave me some cast suggestions. So I was like, I'll think about some of these. But like Amandla Steinberg for Kara, I would like her. You know, she was in like The Darkest Minds and The Hate U Give and things like that. And she was in The Hunger Games. So she has that kind of like cool vibe, still princessy. Yeah. And then Kai is like the hardest person I can think of to cast. I really can't think of like Aaron Pierre would be like good if he were like younger, like more closer to Kai's age. But he has that look, cool eyes and all of that. And then like for Will, for sure, I would go with Michael B. Jordan. He would be awesome. If he were closer in age, but still, I was
gonna say he's energy. A little, yeah.
I mean, he's a little old, but he's got the energy. So if we could just reverse time him back to when he did like Fruitvale Station, he'd be perfect. That would be ideal.
There you go.
I love that. Love his energy.
Yeah, I mean, he's gorgeous. He's brilliant. He's fun. Like, yeah, totally.
Yeah, he's got that main character energy happening. So
totally, yeah. If you could meet anybody, who would it be, and what would you ask them?
So I think like this is going to be weird, but so like I'm distantly related to Harry Belafonte, and I've never met him.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, he's now gone. But I would love to, like, that would have been a cool person to meet, and just like learn about Jamaica, like back a long time ago, and also like his role in the civil rights movement, and just that kind of like way he handles storytelling through music and everything. And I feel like that would be a fun conversation. So yeah.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. I would love that.
Describe yourself in 5 words.
Oh my gosh, 5 words. So like, what's my 5 words? I would say like chaotic, stressed, but also like my moment right now. But also like curious. I think that's an important quality that I have. Like I'm interested, I'm a learner, and I am very, very patient. So that too. And yeah, I like to find happiness in life. So I'm going to go with like joyous also, so like that kind of mixed stew of stress, but also joy, I think is what makes me
oh my God.
Just leaning in and learning to accept those different aspects of who I am. So yeah.
Describe your life in 5 words.
Oh, so the same. The same. Yeah. I mean, I guess, busy. My life is very busy. I have a lot going on, and, I'm always multitasking is another word I would say. But also I very much into like yoga and things like that. So I like to find moments of Zen is another thing that I'm intentional about every day in my life, is to have moments of like peace and then like, connecting with people also. So I don't know. I hope that was fine.
It can be as many as you want it to be.
Okay, yeah.
What was your last guilty pleasure? It could be food, activity, thing, whatever.
Well, anyone who follows me on social media will know that on Wednesdays, I eat cake for breakfast. And so today I had caramel cake and coconut cake for breakfast. It is true. I am not embarrassed. It was fantastic. And yeah, that is my
I'm
guilty
just
pleasure on Wednesdays.
jealous.
I eat cake. Yeah. I just, I mean, I go get my steps, whatever I got to do to pay the penalty, but it is a
Yeah.
nice way to start the day. I highly recommend. 10 out of 10.
I'm severely jealous, and and admittedly I do like this, well, not the same, but like I work out like every day, and if I
Mhm.
go, I'm gonna do like something
Mhm.
like cake. I will make
Yeah.
sure I get in an extra whatever that it is that makes me not feel so horribly guilty.
Right, yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna eat this caramel cake and I will add 5,000 steps today and it's
Yeah,
fine. And that's a good exchange for me. So,
exactly.
mhm.
Um, if you could write yourself into a novel, would you be the hero or a villain, and why?
I mean, definitely a hero. I'm a hero person.
Okay.
I've always been drawn to heroes. I know a lot of people are into anti-heroes and things like that, and that's fine. But I like a good, I like a good hero, and I like the chance to be the one that makes things right, you know? So, like the power that you have as a hero. Um,
Mhm.
so and I love a redeemed villain. So,
Mhm.
but I don't know that I would see
Please.
myself as that redeemed villain, but I redeemed villain is something I love in stories. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Mm.
I'm going to be the hero that talks the villain down and then they get redeemed. So that's my goal. So,
There you go.
yeah,
See,
yeah, yeah.
that works.
Yep, yep.
Is there anyone you dream you could work with, and why?
Oh, Ryan Coogler. Oh my gosh. I've
That was
seen
like,
Sinners
oh,
like twice. Yeah, no question. I mean, just Black Panther, one of my favorite movies of all time.
never.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I probably, that 100%. Not even close. So yeah,
Okay.
he's
Okay.
fantastic. He just does such a good job with like
Everything.
symbolism and all of that. Yeah, honestly, yes, everything. So that'd be amazing.
Yeah. 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 Two truths and a lie.
Oh gosh. Um, so I am terrible at this game, but I'm just gonna do my best here. So bear with me. People are always like, "What? It's obvious." So, I, um, I have been to the top of a volcano.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Okay.
I'm an excellent swimmer,
Okay.
and I um, was born in a different country.
I'm gonna guess excellent swimmer
Yes,
is the
that is
lie.
a lie. It's right. I'm a terrible swimmer.
Yay!
Which is tragic since I love the beach, but I am a terrible swimmer. I will, if you need to murder me, just throw me overboard. I will for sure.
Oh my gosh. Katie Jordan says, so what have you learned about yourself as a writer since publishing your first novel? That's actually a really good question.
Oh, that is a good question.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I always like to tell people that, we can do something is hard, but we can do hard things. And that is living that truth is really different than saying it to someone. And so that I think has been the thing is that I can do something hard and that I can come out of my comfort zone because I am not like I'm for sure like a natural introvert. And just the process of putting yourself out there and seeing that you can do it is very empowering. And so it's been cool to watch myself on that journey and sort of encourage myself as I've been going along and being like, oh, look at you doing something completely different than what you normally do and having fun with it. So, yeah.
Wow, very cool. Very, very. Do you write to music? And if so, what kind?
I do write to music, not all the time. Sometimes I need like quiet, but I do like to have things that inspire scenes, especially if I'm stuck.
Mhm.
Then I will play something to inspire me. So um, I listen to a lot of like acoustic sounds depending on the mood of the story. I have another manuscript I'm working on that's like a literary piece, and I listen to a lot of like reggae, and mournful kind of gospel that's mournful, and it really got me in that headspace for that. And then for North, I was really into getting in touch with the idea of coldness. And so I was listening to a lot of like Icelandic and Norwegian music when I was writing certain scenes. And it was super fun, actually. It really got me in the headspace for it. So I don't randomly listen to music, but I will listen to music to get me in the mood of what I'm writing. Yeah.
That's cool. That's very
Yeah.
cool. Disney, Universal, Warner Brothers, or something else?
I mean, I'm going to go with Universal just because that was the last. Well, it's not the last place. The last place I went to was Disneyland, but I'm going to go with Universal. I've been to Disney World, Disneyland, and Universal, and I've been on the Warner Brothers set tour, so and SeaWorld. So I'm going to go with Universal. I feel like I've had the most fun. Had the most fun there
Okay.
because the rides are a little bit more grown up, and love all the nerdy characters. I love all the X-Men stuff they have there. And yeah, it was fun. We went with our kids over spring break years ago and we had a blast. So I'm going with that one.
All right. Very cool. Tea or coffee?
I mean, I love tea. I'm a tea drinker, but coffee is my preference. I love coffee in the morning, and I love a proper good cup of coffee, like a Jamaican Blue Mountain or a Hawaiian Kona or something like that. Something really indulgent. But I will also just drink Folgers and whatever. That's fine too. So yeah. I'm definitely a coffee person. I spent a lot of money at different coffee places over the years. So yeah.
Got it. Awesome.
Yeah. But I love tea too. I support tea also. I'm very much also a tea drinker. I'm usually coffee in the morning and tea in the evening is usually what I do. So
me too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Totally.
Yep.
So Nick Hayward asks, how important is the space or setting you're in while you're writing?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right?
Yeah. No, I think it's super important. And a lot of what I've written has been inspired by my physical space. So I try to be mindful of that. I have like a room. I don't write in this room. I have another dining room, and that's where I write when I'm indoors. But I also write out on my back deck, and it's got a lot of trees, and that definitely influenced some of the mood of some of the writing. So, like I was saying about the music, having music that inspires me, I definitely like to have a space that is inspiring. I mean, and you can write anywhere. Like you can, if you're at work and you get in, like at your day job and you get an idea, you can pull out your phone and write something. But if you're really trying to churn out chapters, I think it's good to have a space that is going to give you inspiration if possible. So.
Oh, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I almost think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Appetizers or dessert?
Oh, dessert. You were right. Dessert for sure. I don't even need an entree, really. Just entree is just a formality, so I don't look ridiculous when I'm at a restaurant. And then I want those. So, yeah, absolutely.
Wow, you're getting great questions. Rachel Batiste asks, so popping over from Instagram, how does your day job inspire your work?
Yeah, completely inspired. It inspires my work in the sense of like my day job involves like people in difficult situations, and I just try to channel some of that mindfulness and that energy into respectfully dealing with characters that are having struggles and not dealing with the struggles in a way that's condescending or dismissive or it's exploitive, but really just trying to, paint a picture of, this person who's come like out of the foster care system, basically in North and been trafficked. And like, what is that like? And on how do people treat him as he comes out of it? Because sometimes even when you're well-meaning, you can still be unintentionally unkind to someone who has come out of a bad situation, and definitely tried to convey some of that in the writing as he deals with people in different environments and how they treat him as someone that they know is they know he's a child of trauma, and how they interact with him, differently, like maybe overly distant, overly judgmental, whatever. And so, yeah, those kind of just larger emotions and experiences definitely influence the writing. So,
wow. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Would you rather have North be adapted into a movie or a TV show?
That is a great question. I would actually think it'd make a great Netflix short series, like a short series. I wouldn't want it to be either a movie or like a, like a 8 episode thing. But yeah, it could for sure fill out a few episodes, I think. So,
and it's as if Rachel like read your mind, because she didn't even wait for your response, and she's like, "So who would star in the North TV show?"
Yeah, I mean, I guess it'd be their same. I mean, I would have to find a fantasy cast somewhere, but like the actors we were talking about before would probably, primarily be my visual. When I was writing it early on, I would like be I would just like see like models and like the Old Navy catalog and other things, and I would just like cut and paste them so I'd have a visual while I was writing of what the character would look like. But I really hadn't always matched them to real actors. So that has got to be one of my projects at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh gosh, yeah.
Make a Pinterest.
Are there, and so Rachel, again with the fabulous questions, are there any Easter eggs that we should look for in your books?
There are, I don't want to give it away, but there are a lot of references to a certain location in North.
Okay.
So I'll just leave it at that. Just think about what you know about me and see if you can figure out the locations that are referenced in the book. Like I did intentionally try to make them sound a certain way, even though they're actually a different way. So tried to have fun with some of those elements in North. So
okay. Harold Jordan asks, who is your favorite character in North and why? And who's your most ambivalent character in the novel?
I mean, my favorite character in North is for sure Will. He just kind of, to me, stole the show a lot in the book. I really fell in love with him as a side character. And yeah, I just really love him. Wait, what was the other question?
Who's your most ambivalent character?
Oh, ambivalent. That would be Edalie, the North princess. So she has a lot of problems, and I tried to lean into her significant problems in a way that I was still sympathetic. But yeah, she was definitely someone that I struggled to convey in a way that was honest about her problems, but then also a little bit sympathetic too. So yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And Rachel, before I ask the next question, he goes, Atlanta. So
I am not commenting on that.
And now she asks an incredibly important question. Do you have any events coming up, like festivals or signings?
Yeah, I'm going to be at Worldcon in Seattle.
Cool.
So I'm excited for that. I'm going to be on a panel there, and I just got an invitation to be at a con in Austin, Texas They call it Armadillo Con. So I've never been to Austin, so I'm excited to go there for that. And yeah, we'll definitely be talking about North at both of those places. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
And Rachel also asks, so how do you decide your characters' names?
Oh, I feel like that's kind of a trade secret. But I did, I mean, the North is a retelling of the Snow Queen. So Kai's name is straight from the original fairy tale, North. And I just adapted, like gave him a longer formal name, but that's from that. And then I wanted the lead characters to have names that were formal names, but also had natural, like more casual names so that you could distinguish them based on who's talking to them. So I like that dynamic of like Will, like his name is William Eric and he's like the crown prince, but there's scenes where people just call him Will. And I wanted to have that. I wanted all the characters to have a way that you could distinguish the mood and the personality of the person they're dealing with by how they're addressed. So I was intentional about that with the names.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now Nyla Richards asks, are you still on a high from this book? And when's the next one coming? I can't wait to read more of your books.
Oh, thank you. I am so excited about this book. I'm so glad to see it out in the world. I feel like I know these characters. I feel like I've been taking care of them for a couple of years now. And it is just such a relief to have them out in the world and to get like positive feedback about it. So yes, I am very much still enjoying it. All the promo stuff and social media stuff is weird and stressful for my little introvert self, but the rest of it, I am absolutely enjoying. So yeah, absolutely. So
you're doing beautifully. So Rachel says, wait, I didn't know about Worldcon. What? And then she follows up with, what? I didn't know about Austin either. So I think you just got called out again.
Hey. I will post all this on my website immediately at the end of this. All of the new events will be up there. Have not updated in a while.
Perfect. Now Rachel asks, do you see yourself exploring books for different age ranges besides YA, like kid friendly or adult?
Yeah, I definitely think about the next book being more adult, and my crime fiction is adult. But I think it's important to have a YA space is for kids to see things that they can identify with for a range of reasons, and content that's adventurous and angsty, but hopefully ultimately rewarding, and not like nihilistic. So try to bridge the gap between being too cliche and sweet and perfect, and then being too like just devastation and all that. Like, so yeah, I definitely want to write for different ages, but I do really care about YA in particular. So yeah.
Cool. No, totally makes sense. Rachel's like, you are rocking the marketing stuff, mama. Yes.
So not, but I'm just doing the best I can. Hard things. We can do hard things.
Absolutely. We can do anything.
Yes,
absolutely. Anything. So with that, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience?
Yeah, I was just going to mention what we kind of already talked about, which is that I will be at Worldcon in Seattle. I will be at the Armadillo Con. I'm going to be at an author fair June 21st here in Atlanta at a Second and Charles bookstore. And yeah, find me on my website. Come by, say hi. I love to chat, as you can see, about my book, my journey, and all of that. So yeah.
Well, as always, you are and were absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. And thank you to everybody for asking such brilliant questions. You guys are just like rocking it out. So with that, yeah, thank you, everyone. Awesome to see you.